thereby saving the U.S. auto industry from complete obliteration, which is happening right now, and saving U.S. customers thousands and thousands of dollars per car.
Prices are plummeting, interest rates are sky high, and dealerships are desperate, slashing prices just to get cars off their lots. Meanwhile, brand new cars are suddenly more affordable than used ones, and there's even a buzz that Donald Trump himself might jump into the action to make some big changes. What's really happening here? And why is everyone from car buyers to industry giants scrambling to keep up? Buckle up as we dive into something you and I have never seen before in the car market. Used car market meltdown. We are facing an unprecedented collapse in the used car market, one that is sending shockwaves throughout the automotive industry. For the past several months, used car prices have been on a rapid decline. By August of 2024, the average price for a used car had fallen to around $25,500, a staggering drop when you consider how steady prices were just 2 years ago. This isn't just a blip in the market, it's a sign of something much deeper and potentially destructive. Over the last 23 weeks, prices have consistently dropped, with only a few brief periods of minor increases. Imagine watching the value of one of the most significant purchases a person can make dropping like a stone. This pattern resembles the kind of freefall we saw during the 2008 financial crisis, but this time, it's playing out in car dealerships across the country. The causes are complex, a mixture of high interest rates, changes in buyer behavior, and the after effects of supply chain disruptions from previous years. What makes this situation truly unique, however, is the potential for high-stakes players to step in. Rumors are swirling that former President Donald Trump himself might be watching this crisis closely, potentially seeing it as an opportunity to re-enter the spotlight with some sort of game-changing intervention. Some insiders suggest he may push for industry reforms or financial incentives to help struggling dealerships. If there's anything Trump is known for, it's his ability to capitalize on chaos. And with the used car market in turmoil, who better than Trump to swoop in with a deal-making solution? But while the used car market continues its freefall, something unexpected is happening. With interest rates at an all-time high, a surprising shift is taking place, and new car buyers are benefiting in ways we've never seen before. Will this chaos drive the market toward a shocking resolution, or are we about to witness the ultimate industry shakeup? Sky-high interest rates hit used car buyers. If you're considering buying a used car, prepare yourself for sticker shock in the financing department. Currently, the average annual percentage rate on a used car loan is a shocking 14%. For many buyers, this rate is simply unaffordable. In a time when every dollar counts, it's no surprise that people are holding off on car purchases or looking for alternatives. The result? Fewer buyers, increased inventory on dealership lots, and mounting pressure on the industry to address this crisis. But here's where things get interesting. Many new car buyers are enjoying much more favorable conditions. Automakers are pulling out all the stops, offering 0% APR on new models to attract buyers who might otherwise have considered a used car. This staggering disparity between new and used car financing rates is shifting consumer behavior in ways we've never seen before. Some former used car buyers are turning to new models simply because it's financially more feasible despite the higher upfront cost. Mark Fields, the former CEO of Ford, weighed in recently on the situation, saying, "We're seeing a two-tiered market that's dividing buyers in an unprecedented way." Fields suggested that unless interest rates on used cars come down, the market may continue to lose buyers who simply can't stomach the higher financing costs. Fields went on to say that in his opinion, the situation was ripe for disruption, adding fuel to rumors that Trump himself may be contemplating an intervention. But with this massive surplus of inventory, dealerships are facing a dilemma that could lead to even more surprising twists. What happens next could change the used car market forever. And trust me, you don't want to miss the shocking moves that may unfold. Stick with us till the end to see how this crisis could impact you. Surplus of inventory leads to drastic price cuts. As inventory builds up on dealership lots, prices are starting to plummet. We're seeing an influx of used cars that isn't being met by buyer demand, partly because of those high interest rates, but also because of a general shift in the market. Dealerships now find themselves in a position where they have to make significant cuts to clear out old inventory. This situation has led to a veritable price war in the used car market, with dealerships aggressively competing to offer the lowest prices in order to attract customers. AutoNation, a powerhouse in the dealership world, reported a jaw-dropping 52% drop in net income due to this phenomenon. Their CEO admitted that the used car market's current trajectory is unsustainable if interest rates remain high and if new car deals continue to be more attractive. Just recently, AutoNation suffered an operational setback when a critical software system malfunctioned, reportedly disrupting inventory tracking and sales management. Some say that this failure exacerbated the company's struggle as the tech issues left dealerships unable to adjust to the rapid changes in the market. The AutoNation incident serves as a warning. If even the biggest players in the industry are struggling, smaller dealerships are likely facing even tougher battles. The broader implication here is that we're in the midst of a seismic shift in how the car industry operates. Dealerships which once had the upper hand are finding themselves in a vulnerable position as they race to adapt to these rapid changes. The increase in inventory paired with falling prices is causing ripple effects that could lead to long-term changes in consumer behavior. And with rumors that Trump might step in with regulatory adjustments or incentives, the industry is on high alert waiting to see what happens next. The growing divide between new and used car markets. It's not just used car buyers feeling the impact of these changes. The entire industry is split. New car buyers are finding themselves in a much more favorable market, with automakers offering 0% APR financing to encourage purchases of new models. These deals have made new cars an increasingly attractive option, despite the initially higher sticker price. What's happening is that people who might have settled for a used car in the past are now opting for new shifting demand in an unexpected way. The contrast between new and used car financing rates is pushing consumers toward new cars, with some dealerships even reporting that new car sales are picking up despite the economic downturn. This trend is causing frustration among used car dealerships who feel that they're being left out in the cold while automakers pamper new car buyers with attractive financing offers. A spokesperson for CarMax remarked, "We're in uncharted territory. The incentives for new cars are making it almost impossible for the used car market to stay competitive." This shift isn't just changing the market, it's changing the way people think about car ownership. We're seeing an era where, for the first time, buying a brand new car might actually make more financial sense than opting for a pre-owned one. Dealerships are grappling with the implications of this shift, and industry insiders are keeping a close watch on how it might play out. With this divide growing, we can only wonder how long used car dealerships can hang on. Will they adapt, or will we see a decline in the traditional used car buying experience? The situation is evolving, and Trump's potential involvement, whatever that may look like, only adds to the uncertainty. If he decides to get involved, it could mark a turning point not just for the used car market, but for the automotive industry as a whole. Interest rates and used car sales standoff. As the divide between new and used cars grows wider, the impact of skyrocketing interest rates continues to reverberate throughout the used car market. Car buyers today face a new kind of sticker shock, not from the price of the car itself, but from the cost of financing it. With interest rates for used cars averaging around 14%, many potential buyers are left reeling, forced to reconsider their plans. This shift is significant. Fewer people are willing to commit to a high-interest used car loan, even if the price of the vehicle itself has dropped. It's a double-edged sword for the industry. Prices are down, but fewer buyers are willing to take the plunge due to prohibitive financing costs. On the flip side, automakers are pulling out all the stops to lure buyers into the new car market. 0% APR offers on new car loans make purchasing a brand new vehicle almost irresistibly tempting, especially when the cost of financing a used car is over 10 percentage points higher. This strategic move has shifted the entire landscape, making new car ownership more financially viable for a wider audience. This situation, however, is doing no favors for dealerships loaded with pre-owned inventory. According to Jim Farley, CEO of Ford, this financing gap is creating an imbalance that could shake up the market for years to come. Farley has warned that unless something drastic is done, used car dealerships may face a full-blown crisis, unable to compete with the alluring deals offered on new cars. We're in the middle of a market shift that we haven't seen in decades, Farley explained. The industry is splitting in two, and the used car market is getting the short end of the stick. These are strong words from a man who has spent his life navigating the automotive industry. Farley's message is clear. Without intervention, the used car market could collapse under the weight of its own unsustainable financing costs, rising inventory, and falling prices. For used car dealerships, the current situation feels like a perfect storm. In the wake of the pandemic, supply chain issues initially made it difficult for dealerships to maintain inventory, leading to soaring prices and long wait times for buyers. But as production has ramped up and supply chain issues have eased, dealerships now find themselves with a surplus of vehicles, leading to a completely different set of challenges. The result is a scenario that no one could have anticipated. Dealerships are now facing an overwhelming amount of inventory, but not enough buyers willing to pay the high financing costs. This shift has created a buyer's market, with dealerships cutting prices in a desperate attempt to move vehicles off their lots. In some areas, used car prices have dropped so dramatically that they are now comparable to prices seen during the last recession. But the low prices alone aren't enough to attract buyers who are already cautious about financing costs. It's a vicious cycle. Lower prices are supposed to drive sales, but with such high interest rates, many potential buyers are holding off, leading to even more inventory buildup. And this is where the story gets even more complicated. AutoNation, one of the largest car dealership chains in the United States, recently reported a dramatic 52% decline in net income. This drop is attributed to the combination of falling used car prices, inventory buildup, and an unexpected technology failure that impacted their operations. Just as dealerships were scrambling to adapt to the new market conditions, AutoNation suffered a tech glitch that disrupted their inventory management and sales tracking systems, leaving many dealerships struggling to keep up with the rapid changes in the market. While AutoNation has recovered from the glitch, the incident served as a stark reminder of just how fragile the current state of the used car market is. If industry giants like AutoNation are feeling the pressure, the situation for smaller independent dealerships is even more dire. Many of these dealerships don't have the financial cushion to withstand months of sluggish sales. They're slashing prices, offering incentives, and doing whatever they can to attract buyers. But the harsh reality is that the high interest rates are proving to be a major deterrent. For consumers, this is a golden opportunity to score a great deal, but for dealerships, it's a sign of trouble ahead. Will he shake up the market? In the midst of this turmoil, one name keeps coming up: Donald Trump. Sources close to Trump have hinted that he's keeping a close eye on the automotive market's struggles, and some even suggest that he may be planning to intervene in some way. Whether through policy changes, incentives, or even a new business venture, there are whispers that Trump sees this crisis as an opportunity to make his mark on the industry and potentially win back some supporters by positioning himself as a champion of the American car buyer. This wouldn't be the first time Trump has attempted to influence the car industry. During his presidency, he introduced a range of policies aimed at supporting American automakers, from tariffs on foreign vehicles to incentives for domestic production. But this time, things are different. Trump is no longer in office, and his influence is largely behind the scenes. Still, if he were to publicly align himself with the struggling used car market, it could have a significant impact. Several political analysts have pointed out that the current situation offers Trump a unique chance to reconnect with a core part of his voter base: middle-class Americans who are feeling the pinch of high prices and rising interest rates. By championing policies that could alleviate some of these burdens, Trump could position himself as a hero to American car buyers who feel left behind by the current administration's economic policies. A spokesperson close to Trump's team even hinted that the former president is very much aware of what's happening and is weighing his options. If he chooses to step in, it could be a game changer. Of course, Trump's involvement could also bring its own share of controversy. Critics argue that his policies during his time in office often favored large corporations over individual consumers. They worry that if Trump were to get involved, his focus might be more on supporting the dealerships and automakers rather than addressing the root issues faced by consumers. However, others believe that Trump's unique approach to problem solving could bring much needed relief to an industry in crisis. Dealers versus consumers. As the used car market grapples with surplus inventory and spiraling prices, a new tension is emerging between dealerships and consumers. Dealers are doing everything they can to keep prices attractive and move cars off their lots, but the buyers are in no rush. The high interest rates on used car loans are driving many potential buyers away from dealerships altogether, creating a standoff that has intensified throughout 2024. This dynamic has put buyers in an unusual position of power. Car dealerships, once commanding with strict prices and limited choices, now find themselves struggling to make offers that can bring buyers through the doors. And the dealerships are feeling the strain, facing inventory that seems endless and high financing costs. They're dropping prices and offering aggressive promotions. But with buyers aware of their newfound leverage, even these cuts may not be enough. Some insiders believe this power shift could have a lasting impact on the entire car buying experience. Imagine a world where buyers hold the upper hand, where dealerships have to cater to them, and where they can expect significant price negotiations. According to market analyst John Murphy, this shift could permanently change the way we buy cars. Consumers now know they can wait it out for a better deal. If this trend holds, we may see a new model emerge in the car industry, one that's driven by buyer demands rather than dealership offers. Murphy explained dealerships are under pressure to keep adjusting or risk being left behind in a market that's growing increasingly buyer-friendly. The impact of Tesla, CarMax, and AutoNation. With the used car market in a vulnerable position, major players in the automotive sector have begun to adapt their strategies to the changing landscape. Tesla, for instance, has taken a unique approach, integrating its used car sales directly into its overall business model. Unlike traditional dealerships, Tesla has an almost seamless method for customers to transition from one Tesla model to another, making it easier for current Tesla owners to trade up. This keeps Tesla's inventory balanced while maintaining strong brand loyalty among its customers. For Tesla, this move has not only helped them stay competitive, but has also made them a force to be reckoned with in the used car sector, attracting customers who would normally gravitate toward traditional dealerships. AutoNation, on the other hand, is facing an entirely different set of challenges. As one of the largest dealership chains in the US, it recently suffered a 52% drop in net income, partly due to inventory overload and fierce competition in the used car space. AutoNation's CEO publicly attributed part of this financial hit to a technology failure that disrupted their inventory and sales tracking systems, setting them back in an already challenging market. To bounce back, AutoNation has implemented aggressive price cuts and promotions, attempting to regain ground with consumers who are enticed by the discounts but wary of the high financing costs. Then there's CarMax, the undisputed leader in used car retail. They're using data analytics to understand consumer preferences and predict market trends, allowing them to strategically adjust inventory and pricing. By leveraging data-driven insights, CarMax can identify which vehicles are likely to sell quickly and which may need further price cuts to move. This analytical approach has positioned CarMax as one of the few used car retailers thriving in the current market. While others flounder, they're adapting intelligently, staying one step ahead of their competitors. These adjustments by Tesla, AutoNation, and CarMax underscore just how intense the competition has become. With buyers being cautious and selective, these companies are not only battling against each other, but also against a market that seems to change with each passing week. Will these strategies be enough to survive the market upheaval? Time will tell, but these moves could reshape the industry if they succeed. The growing influence of tech and data in the auto market. In a world where data is increasingly valuable, the car industry is no exception. Car dealerships and automakers alike are turning to advanced data analytics and digital platforms to adapt to the rapid changes in consumer behavior. The pandemic accelerated this shift, and now it's clear that those who can leverage technology effectively will have a competitive advantage. By analyzing purchase patterns, customer preferences, and market trends, dealerships are better equipped to make strategic decisions that can attract buyers, even in a challenging market. This trend is most evident in how CarMax uses data analytics to optimize its inventory. By analyzing which car models are trending and which are facing low demand, CarMax can adjust its pricing and inventory levels accordingly. This data-driven approach has allowed CarMax to maintain higher sales and profitability, even as the rest of the market struggles. Tesla is also integrating tech seamlessly into its business, using data not only to manage inventory, but also to understand customer preferences, which feeds directly into product development. Their direct-to-consumer model bypasses traditional dealerships, allowing Tesla to offer a more personalized experience that keeps its customers loyal to the brand. AutoNation's recent struggles highlight what happens when technology fails in a high-stakes market. The dealership chain suffered significant losses due to a tech outage that disrupted their sales and inventory systems. This incident exposed the risks that come with heavy reliance on digital infrastructure. While data and tech can offer incredible advantages, they also introduce vulnerabilities that can be disastrous if not managed carefully. For AutoNation, the outage was a costly lesson in the importance of reliable technology in today's auto market. Looking ahead, it's clear that tech-driven approaches will continue to play a vital role in the automotive industry. Dealerships and automakers that harness data effectively will likely pull ahead, while those that fall behind may struggle to stay relevant. The challenge lies in balancing the opportunities that tech provides with the potential pitfalls that come with it. As we watch these companies navigate this new landscape, the winners and losers of the auto industry's tech revolution are just beginning to emerge. The power shift to direct-to-consumer sales. The traditional car dealership model is facing unprecedented disruption as automakers explore direct-to-consumer (DTC) sales strategies. With buyers increasingly favoring online shopping experiences and automakers keen to gain more control over customer interactions, many are rethinking their reliance on dealerships. For consumers, the appeal of DTC lies in the transparency, ease, and flexibility it offers. By cutting out the dealership middleman, automakers can offer a more streamlined and often less expensive car buying experience. Tesla has been a pioneer in this area, successfully bypassing dealerships and offering a direct buying experience through their online platform. Customers can choose, customize, and even finance their cars without ever setting foot in a showroom. This approach has proven so effective that other automakers are beginning to follow suit. Ford and General Motors, for instance, are investing heavily in online platforms that allow buyers to purchase directly from the manufacturer, mirroring Tesla's approach. This DTC model not only gives automakers more control over pricing, but also provides them with valuable insights into customer preferences and behaviors. By tracking every step of the purchasing journey, automakers can use the data to improve future models and target marketing efforts. However, traditional dealerships are pushing back, arguing that their personal touch and expertise offer unique value that DTC lacks. As both sides vie for influence, it's clear that the future of car buying will be a battleground of old-school dealership tactics versus tech-driven DTC innovations. Will the used car market survive? With the automotive industry shifting in favor of new cars and direct sales, the used car market finds itself at a crossroads. The traditionally robust pre-owned sector is grappling with multiple pressures, from high financing rates to an abundance of inventory and a lack of demand. For years, used cars provided an affordable alternative for those looking to buy without the hefty price tag of a new vehicle, but the landscape is changing quickly. For one, high interest rates on used car loans are dissuading many buyers. Coupled with the rise in new car incentives and 0% financing offers, used cars are increasingly becoming less attractive. The value proposition that once set used cars apart is eroding, and with dealerships struggling to compete against the appeal of new cars, some analysts predict that the used car market may see a fundamental restructuring. Consumer trends indicate that people are also keeping their cars longer, further reducing turnover in the used car market. However, some optimists in the industry believe that innovative models like certified pre-owned CPO programs could breathe life back into the sector. These programs, which offer thoroughly inspected used cars with added warranties, appeal to those looking for a nearly new car without the price of a brand new vehicle. As the market adapts to shifting demands, the success of these programs may determine whether the used car market can regain stability, or if it will continue to shrink in favor of direct-to-consumer sales and new car purchases. What's next? An industry at a turning point. The automotive industry stands at a critical juncture, with each player, from automakers to dealerships, adjusting their strategies to meet the rapidly changing landscape. Technology, consumer behavior, and economic factors like interest rates and inflation are all converging to create an environment where only the adaptable will survive. AutoNation's struggles, CarMax's data-driven success, and Tesla's pioneering DTC model each highlight different strategies for tackling these challenges. Even political figures like Donald Trump may play a role in the future of the car market. Rumors continue to swirl around whether Trump will push for regulatory changes or incentives that could tip the scales in favor of dealerships or car manufacturers. If he does choose to involve himself, it could bring both new opportunities and new controversies to an already complex landscape. Trump's interest in the auto industry is no secret. During his presidency, he implemented policies to support American manufacturing and protect jobs in the the automotive sector. This time, his involvement could take on a different form, potentially giving a much-needed boost to dealerships or influencing how cars are financed. Meanwhile, traditional dealerships face a tough road ahead with the growth of online platforms, DTC sales, and changing consumer expectations. Dealerships will need to adapt quickly, possibly shifting towards service-oriented models that emphasize convenience, competitive financing, and high-touch customer service. Otherwise, they risk becoming obsolete in a market where consumers are increasingly in control. As we look to the future, one thing is certain: the next few years will redefine how we buy cars. The decisions that automakers, dealerships, and even political figures make now will shape the industry for decades to come. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the rapidly evolving car market. With everything shifting from financing rates to dealership models, it's clear that this industry is in for some major changes. Will the power swing fully toward direct-to-consumer sales? Will used car dealers bounce back with creative solutions? And could figures like Donald Trump really disrupt the car market as we know it? Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on our upcoming videos where we dive even deeper into the most shocking and controversial trends in the car world.